Welcome in. How is everybody doing this morning? Welcome, welcome. Hello. Hey, Candy Customs. Hey, Jewelry Lover. How are you this morning? This is our ride and chat show. Let me see. I'm trying to get my iPad up and running. How is everybody doing? Oh, thank you. This is all natural today. So I appreciate you, friend. You are always so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So how's everybody doing? What's going on? Y'all, we had a couple of challenges last week. Fan is on and I'm still hot. We had a couple of challenges last week. And one of the challenges that we had was to look at one of our seller matrix. And for me, my challenge this week was sell through rate. Okay. So I am going to, hey, Kay Hutchins. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to talk about what my numbers look like. And we're also going to talk about um, WhatNot on their blog had a special posting about the top 5 things to do to attract buyers. So I haven't read that. I'm going to wait and read it with you all. We're going to go through it together. And of course, we're going to talk about whatever else you all want to talk about. Let me pull up this blog, okay? So if there's anything pressing that y'all want to talk about this morning, drop it in the chat. We will get to it. Blog.team, whatnot. Okay. We will get to it. Yes. So, how has everything been going, particularly in the past week? Anything that you've noticed or anything that's just popped out at you in the past week? It was slow for me. I had a nice show on today is Wednesday. So that was Monday, and I had to pop back on later in the afternoon. It's been a little slow. Okay. Do you think it's because it's the time of year when people are wrapping up, whether it be vacations or kids going back to school? Do you think they're just some outside distractions? Okay. So the summer slowdown is a real thing. Let me pull it up on here. Okay, good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Has anyone else, but it'll pick back up. Everybody says get ready for quarter 4. So, unlike last year when I was struggling through quarter 4 trying to figure out my groove, I think I've kind of figured out some of it. But we're going to talk about that today too, because I got a lot to figure out, y'all. A whole lot to figure out. Ah, hey, Claw Culture Nails. I hope I said that correctly. I'm trying to get my iPad on and I'm having issues with it. So bear with me. Bear with me. And we'll give some people some time to get on and then we're going to get to it, y'all. We are going to get to it. Okay. Before we even start talking about all the other things, let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Okay, good. Good morning. Good morning, Cloud Culture. Shipping. New shipping started, what was that, Friday? How's it going? What have you all noticed, particularly with you all? I see a few selling clothing sellers, excuse me, in here. With my jewelry, I haven't seen that much of a change because of the custom setting that I do. So what have you all seen as clothing sellers with the jewelry? Hello, Nima Mac. I'm trying to get my iPad on so I don't have to be in your face like this trying to read the chat. Hey, Chickaview. Thank you for the follow. What have you all noticed with the clothing sales, if you don't mind saying? Have you noticed that the price structure has helped you? Um, or because if you're passing the cost on to your buyers, essentially, and thank you so much for the follow, essentially, you get to see free shipping earlier as a buyer. So has that helped? Do you think that that has helped? Or if you are doing a max shipping show, how do you feel about it? How do you all feel about it? Good morning, Conderful. Good morning. Good morning. We're talking all things whatnot. No comments on the shipping, so I'm assuming everything is gonna. It's just been fine, but that's just an assumption. So you all let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Um. So I will say this for shipping. As a jewelry seller, I have a custom shipping profile. And so I allow for the first thing that I sell to be weighed at 3 ounces. Each additional item or an adjustment. So that's kind of worked for me. Now, what I will say in my shows and the shows that I've been going to and I've been purchasing, if things are weighted, like I think I've only purchased in 1 or 2 shows since Saturday. But I did notice for me as a buyer that it seemed like I saw the free shipping banner quickly. So I must have gotten to a pound quickly or gotten to the point of that 775 pretty quickly. And then of course, after if the seller is not doing max shipping, then the shipping will start over after you reach 5 pounds. So that enticed me to buy a couple things because I felt like I've already paid the shipping. I'll get a couple of other things because that's a straight, product at that point. So that was kind of my experience. Okay. Anybody in here selling home decor or anything heavy that would have been over 5 pounds? Do we have anybody like that today? Y'all are being quiet. Why are y'all so quiet today? Why are you all so quiet today? I'm going to test out something. I'll probably do a pop up later today. And I'm going to sell probably out of the estate sales category with some heavier items. And I'm going to test out the shipping with that. Half asleep. Well, that makes sense. That does make sense. I'm sorry. It's so early. It is so early. All right. Let's talk about last week. We said that we were going to pay attention. We were going to pick one metrics and pay attention to it. Okay. So the metrics that I decided to look at was my sell through rate. Okay. Hey, thrifty ATX girl. I'm peddling. So I decided to look at my sell through rate. And thrifty ATX girl, let me pause for a second because I was just asking the chat. Um, oh wait. I didn't read this. Hold on 1 second. Let me go back to Chicken View. I missed this. I sell small stuff, so no change for me. The big issue right now for jewelry, accessories, and beads is the overseas VPN sellers taking over. Tell me what VPN stands for. And tell me a little bit about that because I don't know that I understand exactly what that means. So please elaborate on that so we can talk about it. And Thrifty ATX girl, you did a great show, and I'm sad that I missed some of it, but I caught the end of it. I think it was yesterday, and you were talking about shipping. So you decided to. Okay, good. You're doing it again to drop tonight. Drop the time that you're going to have that show tonight. I want to join and I want to learn. Thrifty ATX girl sells clothing, and she typically does a reduced shipping cost for clothing. So I want to see what she's doing. Okay, 8:35 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. Let's all bookmark and follow Thrifty ATX girl, and especially if you're doing larger types of shipping shows, I want to know kind of what that looks like. So let's definitely get some knowledge from Thrifty ATX girl. Um, and then let me see. Uh-huh. now. Okay, different type. Noticed if you want your show to feature that quote WhatNot banner that says reduce shipping, you have to have your shipping settings at a max of $7.75. So even if you do quote unquote a max shipping show, like let's say I think yours is 1111, you don't see that banner. So Thrifty ATX girl, she includes that in her show thumbnail, what your max shipping will be. And I have seen other sellers do that as well. So that's a thought. That's definitely a thought to get the word out there and let buyers know that you're still offering reduced shipping, even though WhatNot is not recognizing it. This whole shipping thing to me, the gap between the £5 and the priority, that price gap, is just odd to me. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you've had issues with that in your category as well. Okay, Chick of You said a VPN is a virtual private network, yes, that lets you guide your IP address from the country you're selling from. That's what, oh, I know what you're talking about now. I didn't know that's what was going on, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And they're selling things for like, bundles for $1, right? I have seen a lot of that, but I didn't understand that's what was going on. Got it. Okay. Wow. Let's talk about that. So essentially, what happens though if they're using a VPN and they're shipping from overseas? How does that work with shipping cost? How does it work with tariffs? I haven't paid that much attention to it, so I don't know. I have complained to WhatNot and filed reports, and they are not doing anything. Hmm. Is it because they're making them money? Hey, Dr. Reed, you missed something good. You did. Good morning. Good morning. We're going back to it. We were talking about shipping and our challenges. Right now, we're talking about overseas sellers that are using VPNs to show, I guess, a domestic IP address. But I'm wondering, how does that work with shipping? Y'all let me know. What? So Claw Culture Nail says she's also you. I've also had them ask to use my U.S. identity and pay me monthly to open a shop on Whatnot. I am so curious. Okay, tell me, Claw Culture Nails, what happens with the shipping on that one? All right, Thrifty ATX girl and Dr. Reed, we're talking about shipping really quick before we talk about our matrix that we were looking at for last week for this week, the challenge. Thrifty ATX girl said, but if you do 70, 75 or less for that banner, the seller covers all shipping overages. I do at 1111, but my cost is lower to cover because at that point, you can cover between the 1111 and the 1299 for the priority flat rate. Is that right? Or do you adjust accordingly? Ground advantage versus priority flat rate. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, you have no clue. Okay. I'm going to look at that. The next time I see one of those, I'm going to pay attention to my shipping because the thing that I don't remember seeing is I don't remember seeing a shipping variance for that. But I want to know how they're getting around it. Do they have somebody in the States with that inventory that's shipping it? Or how are they getting around paying those additional shipping costs? That's confusing to me. So we're gonna look into that a little bit. It's very interesting. I'm gonna pay attention to it, definitely. So, hello, cruise cruise skip. Hello, and hey, Juliss's Gems. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we've talked about shipping. I may try something today using some heavier things. I may even do clothing actually, but I'll either do clothing or I will do um, the estate sale category and just do a quick pop up, try to move some things that have been dead and play around with the shipping on that so I can have some experience with the higher cost items. Okay, so Thrifty ATX Girl says if my buyer requires more than one large flat rate box, I pay for the second box if I can toggle off first rate to go ground. I pay any overage. Okay, gotcha. And Chick of You said currently there are a lot of them doing live selling jewelry, beads. I know, I've seen that. I'm just so confused about the shipping. I don't understand how they're able to. I get how they're able to come on and sell, but I don't understand how they're able to ship. That's what I'm really confused about. The nails are bad right now, too. I've seen those as well. Oh, we're talking about sellers who are overseas and they're selling either typically jewelry, beads, nails, small accessories. And you'll see them selling them in like bundles for little or nothing. Like they'll start a bundle of, gold costume bracelets for $1, something like that. But they're using a VPN so that their IPS address looks like a domestic address, so they don't look like an international seller. And so your shipping looks the same. But I'm wondering how that actually works with them shipping the goods from afar. So, because let's go back to me for a second. You all know I made a huge mistake a couple of weeks ago, but I will say it's a beautiful piece, two beautiful pieces. It's a set. And I bought something totally accidentally. Don't remember being in this lady's show. I don't do international shows. I was in this lady's show and bought a Juliana brooch and earring set. She was from Canada. It was expensive, very expensive. Like I would have never even thought about purchasing that because I'm just not that into Juliana. But anyway, I did it for $1 million. Yeah, for $1 million. It should certainly seem like $1 million to me. And then the giving just kept on giving. My shipping was incredibly high. I think my shipping was like 40 some odd dollars. And then I had to pay 50 something dollars in tariffs. So I don't shop internationally. Okay. And I'm definitely not going to have WhatNot on or the phone in my hand if I feel like I'm asleep. I'm just not going to do it. Okay, so that's interesting to me. I don't know how they would be able um to ship at that price when they're shipping internationally. So we'll try to find out a little bit more about that. All right, Dr. Reed, was your shipping, everything worked out well with your shipping? I'm assuming. The buyer pays, but I mean, it wasn't like an issue for anybody, right? It's been fine. Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right. Well, any other questions on shipping, we'll try to answer. And definitely bookmark Thrifty ATX Girl shipping show tonight. She's going to talk about how she's offering reduced shipping, but what her reduced shipping is. Thank you so much for the share. Um, Now, last week we were talking about the importance of paying attention to our metrics. Okay. Good morning, Aisha. Paying attention to our metrics. And we were going to, the request, the ask was to look at one metric, just one metric that you wanted to really hone in on and pay attention to. So you can see how your business is doing from a data perspective and things that you may want to change to improve that particular metric. We're eating the elephant one bite at a time, okay? I chose to look at sell-through rate. So this is what I found. I'll tell you about my good show and I'll tell you about my terrible, terrible show. The first show was I think it was on Saturday. Yes, it was on Saturday. Guess what my sell-through rate was, y'all? This is so embarrassing, but I'm just going to be honest and open. I sold nothing. So I had a 0% sell-through rate. 0%. On show 2 that I did on Monday, I had a 30% sell through rate. So we're getting there. We're upcharging, or we're trending up. So those are the only 2 shows I've had, and this will be the 3rd show, and then I'll pop on and do another show today. And then I'm traveling for the rest of the week. So this is going to be interesting because I am going to rewatch the shows to identify what was different. Empty Nest said, sorry, what rate are you looking at? Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at my sell through rate. So on the first show that I had on Saturday, and usually I don't do Saturday shows. So my Saturday show, I had no sales. No sales, none whatsoever. I was on for just a little more than an hour and decided to just call it. But I had no sales. I I have to rewatch the shows to kind of look at what was what. And here are my other stats. What is the sell through rate? Oh, good question, K Hutch. It is the percent of items sold versus items shown, right? So if you're selling 10 items, if you have 10 items that you're running, not showing, but running, if you run 10 and only sell 3, you have a 30% sell through rate. Okay. So number of items sold versus or divided by the number of items run. Okay. Run. Yeah, sure. Great question. Great question. Now, on the Monday show, these are all of my matrix from Monday. Times 100. Yes, times 100. Yes, times 100. We're doing percentages. That's right. Times 100. Hashtag math. Now, notice she didn't say hashtag girl math. She said hashtag math. Got to do the breakdown for this early. You're exactly right. I keep forgetting it's so early. People are like, I'm still half asleep. I know. I know, y'all. Y'all. This is just what we do. This is what we do. Okay, so for the second show that I had on Monday, these are my analytics. I had an average order value, which for me is high. My average order value was $11. We have to pull this in for ourselves. WhatNot does not pull this. Yes, they do pull it. They do pull it. And I'll show you where it is. I'll show you where it is. That's a great question as well. You can get a lot of data on WhatNot. Julicious says, my problem is I am chatty. So we talk so much sometimes I don't sell much. I got you. I got you. And that's a good thing to rewatch your shows too, to identify where you want to be cognizant of cutting that chat time down and running more. Oh, and Dr. Reese said you should try a silent auction and see how it goes. Now, that's an interesting concept. All right, so these are my stats for Monday. Average order value, and I pulled this straight from the analytics tab at WhatNot, but it takes 2 to 3 days to update. So I was just able to get these numbers today from Monday's show. Average order value was $11. I had 53 shares of the show versus 3 shares of my Saturday show. Okay. I had 3 first time buyers. My max concurrent viewers was 62, which I know I did get a raid, a pretty sizable raid, but I don't know how I had 62 concurrent buyers because that bubble never said 62, but I digress. And then total views, I had 164. Okay. Um, the Saturday show where I sold nothing, I only had 8 max concurrent viewers and 22 total views. Okay. Now, I don't do I don't do shows on Saturdays typically, but my Monday morning show is more of a staple. And I had to stop it actually to go to a meeting and restart the show later that evening. All right, let's see. I have regulars who come in, and sometimes it's them too. And Dr. Reese said, "Tell them to hush up," like my toddler says. You are so funny. Oh, okay. So those were my matrix that I've metrics that I've measured so far. So we'll kind of see how that's trending and continue. And like I said, I'm going to rewatch my shows and see what I can do differently for self improvement as well. A really good STR for live selling is 70, sell through rate is 70% or above. That's true. That's true. A really good sell through rate, STR, sell through rate for live selling is 70% and above. I've so got to work on it because I really do want to at some point be able to do volume. So I've got to get that rate up. And that means that I've either got to, there are a couple of things I need to adjust. We won't go into all of that right now, but I'm going to play around with some things to see how to get that sell rate order up. But with this being my average order value being $11, I was really excited about that because usually it's not that high. So I don't know. I don't know if is telling me a lot. It's giving me a lot to reflect on because I'm selling fewer things, but I'm making more money. And the time frame didn't change. So I don't know. I got to figure that out. And it's going to take more than one or two shows to figure it out. This is just something that I'm starting to track. So all know how data works. All right, let's see. Um, does anyone, Julicious Jim said, does anyone authenticate their pieces like Heidi Doss or Kirk's Folly? I had an incident with a buyer claiming fraud, but my piece was genuine. That's interesting because I have not sold Heidi Doss, nor have I sold Kirk's Folly, but I have Heidi Doss and Kirk's Folly pieces. So why did she feel that they were fraudulent? Tell us a little bit more about that because they're very distinct marks and things you can look for on those pieces to really determine their authenticity. I mean, it's not like a Louis Vuitton bag, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what her premise was, or if I don't know, it may have been something else. And did she return the item to you? Did she return the item to you, or did she just want a refund from WhatNot? I wonder how they calculate the STR for binge shows. I don't know if binge shows are actually calculated. That's a great question because all of the data that I've seen applies to live shows. So if you're selling from the bin, it's more, in my opinion, it's more of that, traditional reselling like, the Bay or the PM, all those other places. So do you really have a sell through rate because you don't have a time frame to measure what you're selling and when, if that makes sense? Uh, yeah, Julicious Jim says, I know my pieces were legit. Now I'm nervous about selling these pieces. Well, tell us more about the process too, because there are pieces that I've been quite nervous about putting on WhatNot and haven't put on WhatNot. So I would love your input on that too. Chick of You said, I haven't had a sale in 8 days due to the VPN sellers. I sell jewelry, beads, brooches. WhatNot poor visibility is the problem too. You know what? Chick of You, I probably agree with the visibility because not when I'm on my followed sellers page. And let me just say this, even on my followed sellers page, some of my favorite sellers aren't showing up. We're live, okay? And I think you're right because only the people, even if you create your bat signal, only your current customers are going to receive it. They're the only ones who know about it. So if the algorithm is pushing others ahead and their issues, then our views are going to naturally reflect that. They're going to be lower. Hey, Jamie. Dr. Reed said, I need to figure out what my best wait time is after scheduling. I haven't learned my lesson, but pop-up shows are low sales for me. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Pop-up show. That's good to know, though. Yeah, that's good to know. Hey, check the attic. That part, return it. Yes, I would. Yeah, if you, I'm excited about September 1st when we all own our customer service, because if you say, number one, if you say that my product is not legitimate, back it up, send it back, and I'm happy to give you your money back because I'll resell it. But I also feel like saying that without cause is attacking my character. And I work my ass off to make sure that people have a good experience. And that part, I'm not okay with that. So y'all don't get me started on that one. Um, Say you have not tested or authenticated when running the item. Bid responsibly. Yeah, you could definitely put that in the show notes, and that would probably cover you. But I also think it can devalue your item as well. Like if I'm running sterling or if I'm running something gold filled, I'm going to scratch test it. If I'm running something and I'm saying that it's, a genuine stone, I'm going to put it on the Presidium and check it. You know, if I'm running Heidi Doss or Juliana, I will cross check now that I have a piece, but I'm not putting it on here. Um, there's certain ways that you can do that, but I also feel like if you're paying us, because typically you're paying a substantial amount of money for these types of pieces. I don't know. I feel my spirit is just saying, like, I don't know that I feel as comfortable purchasing them with that statement, although it's not a bad statement to make. It just makes me think, it puts a question in my mind that for me may not be there, because I think, and I've ordered Heidi Daus pieces on Whatnot before, and I can typically look at them. And if I have a question, I want to see where that Heidi Daus mark is. I want to see where it says China. I want to see the script. I want to see all the rhinestones and how they align. I know what that pearlesque look is, all kinds of things to look for. But I see what you're saying. I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I just don't know how I feel about it. But you're not wrong. You're exactly right. Julicious Jim said, I'm not sure. I submitted my paperwork from the auction pictures. According to the policy, I won't get the piece back. I'm gonna shut up. I'm shutting up on that one. I'm shutting up on that one. And then Dr. Reed said thrifty ATX girl, exactly. Okay, and they said correct. Yeah, they have to fix that. My followed. What'd you say? And encourage bookmarks. Yes, yeah. Follow you page sucks. Encourage bookmarks and bookmark me, because a follow ain't doing nothing. That's exactly right. You got to bookmark it. You do. And so Julius Gems is asking Thrifty ATX girl, should I include that disclaimer in my bin items? Ooh. Say in your bin, live notes and item listing. Oh, say in your live show notes and item listing. Okay, gotcha. Hey, check the attic. Good morning. Okay. Good deal. I love this engagement. I hear people say that often. This looks 925, but no marking, and I don't test, and they still buy it. Now, when I have a situation like that, I will say, if I haven't tested it, I'll say this is Mark 925. I have not scratch tested it. So buy it with that information. But if it's something like, see, that's where I have a conflict. If it's something that I can test, if it's a 925 piece, if it's a 14 karat gold plated piece or gold filled piece, I can test that. If I'm saying that if this part of the necklace has a genuine ruby in it, I can test that and I can prove that. But with, a Heidi Daus piece, we're talking 40 to $70 on Whatnot for Heidi Daus. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where it stops. I just don't know where it stops. I really don't. And Julie's Jim said, I buy from an auction house and my pieces usually come with the boxes. I get the paperwork too. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Thrifty ATX Girl, and welcome in everybody. If I haven't acknowledged you, hello, hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. I think if you as a buyer are paying up for that item, I invest to authenticate if I want a higher return. Oh, absolutely not. um, but if the certificate of authentication is as it is for luxury bags, you're paying anywhere from $30 to $50 for a COA. You're not going to get that return on WhatNot, in my opinion. Tell me if I'm wrong. When we're talking Heidi Doss and Kirk's Folly, if you've spent out $30 to $50 for some type of authentication, are you then going to be able to upsell that piece for an additional $30 to $50 on this platform? I don't know if we have those kind of buyers. So, Thrifty ATX Girl says follows and bookmarks don't mean sales or return buyers. Not me Googling Heidi Doss. Yeah, girl. I love Heidi Doss on this platform. I mean, I'm just being honest, y'all. I'm being honest. We even say, um, you come for the deals, you stay for the community. That's kind of whether we like it or not, that's the reputation of WhatNot. You get deals. They have these commercials even. And I have never seen a WhatNot commercial, but my husband gets them all the time. And he's a big golfer, so he tends to get golf commercials. And the brag is look at what you can get on WhatNot and what a savings you're going to have. That's the brag. I don't know. I just I'm torn with that one. Julicious Jim says, I have a good inventory of those I pulled out of my shop. Yes, COA is expensive. It's crazy. Buyers definitely aren't here. That's what I'm saying. Y'all, this is not, I mean, not like I'm making a whole lot of profit, but I'm not doing this for the fun of doing it. You know what I'm saying? If the money is not there to be made, I'm not investing like that to sell for a lot, the potential and the probability of selling for a loss. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to wait until I have control of my customer service. And if it's inauthentic, then if you feel that it's inauthentic, first of all, again, I think that's saying something about my character. So I take offense to that. And number two, if you are not happy, then and there's an issue, there's a call out admission or whatever, here is your label. Send it back to me. I'm happy to give you your money back and call it a day, and I'll sell it to someone who can appreciate it. But no, we're not playing that game. Oh, wait a minute. What did I miss? FYI, on her website, it says it's her birthday month, and she gets 60% off. Whose birthday month? What did I miss? I did a WhatNot survey and stated a list of things they needed to implement and fix. One recommendation was to push every seller alike for their profit. Yeah. MRG, hello, hello. I think you have the cross sell on other platforms. Have to cross sell on other platforms. Higher end on other platforms. I agree. Oh, the Don's Luxury can afford to authenticate every time. They always include a COA. I don't know the Don's Luxury, but I'm definitely going to look them up. I need a pen. The Don's Luxury. Y'all know I can't snapshot on this iPad. Hey, Midwest keepsakes. I feel the same. They're amazing, higher and Korean skincare products that I could get, but I'm not because y'all ain't gonna buy them. And you'll be collecting them. They'll collect dust on other shows and in the bin. Yeah. Oh, Heidi. Okay. Okay. WhatNot is the happy WhatNot. Happy Walmart. Okay, it's the happy Walmart. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it is. It is. And MRG said, I swear by Beauty of Joseon and Skin Sutrals. Okay. Y'all, what a discussion this morning. We have gone in on the authentication and the where you do that and where you don't. And if you all are cross-listing on other platforms, what are you finding? I've never found those brands here. Okay, okay, okay. Well, I love the products that I buy from Dr. Ree. I just bought this. I've changed my whole skincare. You all have heard me talk about this, but I've changed my whole skincare routine because for almost 40 years I've been using Clinique. It worked for me as a teenager and it's continued to work. Wasn't broken, not gonna fix it. As I'm aging and saw the little crow's feet and all the things, I was like, I want to do something different. And lo and behold, Dr. Reese said, well, what issues are you having with your skin? What would you like to see differently with your skin? Hadn't turned back since. Have not turned back since. And I just tell them about the cream that I just got. Oh my God, this cream just gave me, I think, an instant facelift. Oh, it's amazing. Okay, going back to this, going back to WhatNot. Okay. So very, very interesting conversation about the authentication and the return that we're looking for because I still say, you all, I the margin for me, I can speak for me. The margins for me are low. The margins for me are low. I have learned to source better, but still, the margins are low. So I have to just take that into consideration. Uh the medical grade Korean skincare. Matica. Oh yes. That cream. Woo! Y'all better tune in on Thursday nights and get you some. Thursdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Dr. Reed's show and get you some. I'm telling you. I am telling you. I have people have stopped me and said, your skin is beautiful. Do you drink a lot of water? I said, honey, it's that new Korean skincare that I've been using. Ah. Water is the everything for your skin. It's over here, you know that. But anyway. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about today was I was watching custom wood burning, and she mentioned that the WhatNot community host program is going away. Have any of you heard about that, or do any of you serve as WhatNot community host? Who can verify that? Okay. Chickabee said, I just like that WhatNot is trying to make money on the sellers by pushing the marketing tool instead of focusing everyone's sales for their own profit. Well, that part. Are you talking about the promotion option, the paid promotion option on WhatNot, where you can pay for a certain amount of your show to be boosted? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's interesting. I love Zoe's Treasures. I love watching her show. She's always very data based. She's a CPA by trade, so she naturally looks at numbers to compare. And you all have to check out her. She does a reselling roundtable. It's her, Jeremy from Green 13, and I Love Discounts with Sandra and Tony. And she actually did. She purposely promoted her shows for X amount of times. I can't remember at different dollar amounts. Looked at the analytics and looked at her sales versus the analytics, who bought, who they said came in the promotion. And it's interesting. We're not going to spill it. We'll go watch it. But the results are very interesting, very telling. Let's just say I will say this because I'm not going to put words in her mouth and I don't know her exact numbers off the top of my head, but I will say that her words was it was not beneficial for her. Some people swear by it, but when she looked at the data, she had people who were listed who came in the promotion who were previous buyers of hers. I don't think she had new buyers that I remember. But the breakdown was really interesting. So it made me question the data that WhatNot pushed that way too. Yeah. I've had some that were worth it and I've had some that weren't. Hey Carol, and so all right. So nobody's heard that the community host show program is ending. Where Whatnot has official community posts, they usually have a little Whatnot banner behind them, and Whatnot gives them a monthly topic to focus on, like repurpose, resale, or um, uh, oh, I'm losing my repurpose, resale, a reworker's passion, Blaze and Bunny. Some of those are community hosts. Yeah, I'm sorry. My lips are ashy. I didn't use my Korean skincare on my lips this morning. And de-archivist, yep. Some of those. So I was just curious. When she said that, I was like, I wonder why. So I've got to ask some more questions about that. She didn't go into detail and I didn't see it on the blog. So um no, they don't get paid for that, but they do get like whatnot swag every month, some type of whatnot swag. So it's interesting. There's also, and I didn't do my research on this, but I was also um, watching or reading that Whatnot bought an AI company. And I'm curious to know how that's going to interact with the platform. And maybe that's why there's a push to have quality listings versus random items. So, just a thought. All right, let me look really quickly at the blog because there was something that was on here that I just wanted to explore and get feedback on. Blog. So I'm going to blog.team whatnot.com. Leslie, hopefully to get our thoughts together when we're responding about returns in September. Maybe so. Let me see what I missed though. Okay, yeah. There's definitely a push for quality listings by Whatnot. There is. And I'm really curious about that because if oh y'all, if I'm going in and my margins are low, my time and my margins kind of need to if I'm cross listing, I don't mind. But if my margins are already low, am I spending the time to write a quality listing and take photos and do all the things? I'm not. I'll just be honest. I'm not. Chickabee says, same here. It doesn't work for the new reaction button they implemented. It works for seller visibility. I've tested on other seller shows. Y'all, I still don't have the buttons. I still don't have the points. I don't have any of that. Whatnot hates me. Jewelicia said, agreed. And Dr. Reese said, I'm a listing seller. I love it, but works for me to help explain products. And I have another friend who loves to list. And that's what it is. It's whatever works for you. It's absolutely whatever works for you. Let me see if I can find this article. It just does not, I hate to list. I absolutely hate to list. Unless I'm on a raid train or something like that. I just cannot stand listing. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find this again. What was it called? 5 features to attract buyers. Let's see if they give any gems in here because I haven't read it. I just saw it. Saw the title this morning when I was looking for something else. Thrifty ATX girl, which one? Are you a listing seller, Thrifty ATX girl? Or what were you saying with me too? Patiently waiting. Oh, patient is waiting. Be right back. Okay. Let me type this in. Okay. Thrifty ATX said, heck no, I'm not either. Yeah. They should improve the format of listings, group similar items more clearly for easier searching within your bins. Oh, that is a great point. Because now, if we're listing in our buy it now, it's going to come up alphabetically, or we have to develop a numbering system for it to come up like we want to. That's too much brain power for me right now. Way too much brain power for me. Remember, I'm still looking at the margins, but it's just, that's just where I am right now. Maybe my margins would increase if I did some of those things. I don't know. Maybe that's the way I should look at it. But I will say that, I'm open to certain things, but it has to make sense to me. And I'm not there yet. Okay, so this is officially from blog.teamwhatnot.com. And it says this month, we're recapping the top 5 features to attract buyers, as well as introducing new features to help you gain more visibility into your post show performance and allowing a better messaging experience for communicating with your buyers. Maybe I can help fix this, but I doubt it. Yeah, well, I know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, your top 5 go-to features to attract buyers. Running a successful business on WhatNot means juggling a lot, from sourcing and shipping to hosting and building community. But if there's one thing that drives everything forward, it's your ability to attract and retain buyers. The stronger your buyer base, the more you can grow your business. Free listing app for iPhone users, Shelf app. Oh yes, thank you for sending that. You all take a screenshot of that. Thrifty ATX is sharing some gems. Take a screenshot of that. I've downloaded it, but I've got to try it now. All right, so this is what it says. That's why we've built tools specifically designed to help you stand out, reward loyalty, and boost visibility. Whether you're looking to spark urgency, run strategic promotions, or keep your buyers coming back for more, here are 5 must use features to help you turn browsers into buyers and first time buyers into repeat customers. Okay. Wave for live. Oh, can you text that to me, please? Because maybe I can screenshot on here. Hold on. Okay, I screenshot on my phone. Okay, so these are the things that they're telling us to do. This is their advice. Coupons. We have the ability to create coupons and whatnot. It says incentivize buyers with custom deals by using seller created coupons where you can set eligibility requirements, including the buyer types, specific live shows, or minimum purchase amounts. So put a Y in the chat if you have used the coupon feature. Put a Y in the chat for coupons. Flash sales. Move discounted inventory quickly by selling a quantity of listings at a discounted price for a set limit of time. Yes, Kay Hutchins uses coupons every day, every show. And I love that. She's always telling customers, make sure you use your coupons, make sure you use your coupons. And Thrifty ATX girl said, my prices are too low to offer a coupon. My price is a coupon. I hear you, girlfriend. I hear you. I hear you. Also, flash sales, we're on that one. Leverage the customizable feature where you can select the discount type, the quantity, the length of the flash sales, and max purchase limit. Okay? So, flash sales, put a Y in the chat if you have utilized flash sales. I've done the coupons, I've done the flash sales. I don't do my coupons often enough and regularly enough, but I have a new buyer coupon that I kind of keep in my show notes. Okay, so you do utilize the flash sales. Are they effective? Do you find the flash sales reflective? Yeah, I agree too. My my price is the coupon. That is so true. That is so true. Okay, so you do find the flash sales effective. I've found that they worked a couple of times for me, but I don't traditionally run them. So maybe that's something I can pay attention to. Yes, I think so, especially for the boutique pricing model. Oh, I agree because your clothing is boutique clothing. So, yes, I agree with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That does make a big difference. Yes, I agree. I agree. I'm still thinking about those pants from yesterday, the ones that bloom out or kind of taper in at the bottom, the denim and white ones. Girl, they were bad. Okay. I'm just trying to not spend money. Okay. So number 3 is the rewards club. Your tailored loyalty program allows you to create custom achievement requires that buyers can complete to advance tiers, earn rewards like discounts, exclusive shows, or free shipping. So, do you all utilize the tier program, the rewards program? I used to. I didn't this quarter, but I used to. I did not set my stages, my tiers to be rigorous enough. They were too easy to achieve, every single one of them. So that was the lesson learned from that. Kay Hutchins does. Anybody else utilize the rewards club? And I think with the coupons and rewards club, I think your buyers, just like I think it's human nature to psychologically feel like you're really getting a deal because you're saving money on the front end. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but it's the whole psychological principle of I'm saving, so I'm going to buy. Just like when something's on sale, you're like, I don't really need that, but I'm going to try it because right now it's on sale. So I think that's just a reality. Chickabee said WhatNot needs to implement an offer button on the listing so the seller can see an offer to the users who bookmarked the listing for sale conversion. That would be a great idea. That would be a great idea. So many times first of all, it's now hard for me to see prebids. I think they've changed where prebids show up. So I have to go look for prebids. And with offers, I'll usually get a text message with an offer on something, or it's a if it's in the form of a WhatNot message and it's somebody that I'm not friends with, of course it sits in the message request and the offer's expired by the time that I see it. So I do like that idea, Chickaview. And then here's the other one: free and reduced shipping. Attract buyers with shipping deals through offering fully or partially subside the buyer's shipping by setting a default preference in the seller hub or adjusting it per show. We've already talked about that. We have already talked about that. And this is the last thing that they mentioned. Surprise, surprise, is promote tools. Drive growth through increased visibility by showcasing your live shows across WhatNot feeds. You can also track the effectiveness of your promotions and understand the impact on your business. It also goes into a better view into your performance is your post-show metrics. And we talked about that, extensively today. But here is the thing that I will say. What I have heard and some of what I've seen is that when you promote and you get an influx of buyers in your show, they're not necessarily looking for your particular category. Like if I'm selling jewelry, I may get people who are looking for Pokemon cards. So they're like, do you have Pokemon cards? No. Or do you have, I don't know, whatever other cards people collect. And so it's not like a match of people. It just pushes you up, I guess, in the algorithm versus all product areas. And so it's not like a really match for what you're selling and what the buyer is looking for. Promotions are are really a revenue driver for Whatnot. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think you're right about that. I do think you're right about that. Um, has anybody been watching the product roundup live Q&A or whatever they're doing for live sellers every day at, I don't know if it's 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock Central. I think it's 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, but they have like a little 30-minute um, show, I guess, on Whatnot sellers. Promo is a decent tool for sellers with a good return buyer rate, but have hit a plateau. Oh, tell us more about that, Thrifty ATX. So you're saying if you have like a core group of buyers and you feel like you're kind of stagnant with the core group of buyers, if you use the promotion tool because you have new sets of eyes on your merchandise, it kind of it may gear you to attract new buyers or new followers to your stream. Yeah, helps to get more eyes on the shows. Okay. And do you feel that those people, do you feel like the people who you get in from the promotions are looking for what you have? And if they're not looking for what you have, they still like what you have, so you can absolutely, retain them as someone who will come back, bookmark and follow you and come back and eventually become a customer? Okay. So Thrifty ATX Girl says when she tends to run a promo, she gets a decent return or she breaks even, which is good to know. Which is good to know. And then if you get the return on that and you build your client base, then that can be even a larger return, a larger return on your investment down the road. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I have not had that. I haven't done it very consistently. I just haven't had that kind of luck though with promotion. So maybe I need to try it and see and look at my own numbers. It is simple for Whatnot to realize they should only focus on pushing everyone to make sales for their own profits. More sales, more money for them. That's true. That's true. That is absolutely true. More sales, more money for Whatnot. And there's a product roundup live Q&A coming up on tomorrow, August 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, with Whatnot's Chief Product Officer, Tom Verrilli, on at Whatnot Sellers to learn more about these updates and come up with product questions. And please come with product questions. They need to stop all this BS. That part. If I spend $30 on promo and get two new buyers who return, I spend for 15 each new buyer, each return buyer. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, I could see how long term that would be or could be beneficial. I could see that. I could see that. I would also love for my bin items to be posted on Google like Posh and eBay. Are they not? I thought they were now. If you use like, okay, Juliss's Gems, do me a quick favor. Um, Look at one of your bin items that's pretty specific. Type in some of those keywords on Google and see if it pops up. See if it pops up. Um, MRG said, this is why I have been so hesitant on becoming a seller here. At this point, I'm just a collector, observer, and supporter, LOL. Well, let me say this. Let me say this. Just like with anything else, you're going to have your issues. And we take this time and we take the time as sellers to just kind of talk through things and try to help each other out and support each other. But don't let that stop you. You will find your groove. Even with all of the other things that we're talking about with Whatnot, it is a great app. It's just like anything else. You have to work at it, and you typically, what you put into it, you're going to get out of it. But with every single platform, with every single job, with every single adventure that you have, they're going to be the goods, the bads, the uglies. You just figure out a way to work around them and keep pushing forward. You just keep the main thing the main thing. So we're just talking about some of the ancillary things. So please, please, please don't let us influence you like that. Yes. But I don't see any whatnot in searches. Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know. For some reason, I thought that I tried to look up one of my items or did a search for one of my items. I think I was doing some comps and I thought I saw one of my whatnot items pop up. But you know what? I may have thought that because it's cross listed. So it may have popped up from another platform. It very well may have. Okay, so Thrifty ATX girl says she sees her whatnot. She can see whatnot listings on Google. Do you find it helpful to purchase the lives that Liz does? I love what Liz likes. I order her notes every week. These are her notes from last week. I'm waiting for my notes from, but now I like, but I like to, I'm a visual person and I like to see what your thought behind it. So I like now T Mod placing her Monday talk shows, he's recording them, and you'll be able to see them on YouTube now too. So if you just want the rewatch, you can go that route. I like having the notes. I love having the notes. And Julicious Jim says, I love the community and have fun on live. I do too. I do too. I do too. So yeah, so yes, check Juliss's Gems, just check and see if you Google something, if you can see the whatnot listings on Google. I thought I had as well. But like I said, particular show is multicasted to YouTube. Um, and the only reason that I don't do my other shows that way is because I play music and it's copyrighted, so I'm not supposed to. But on YouTube, it blocks it. So that's why you never hear you never hear music on these shows, just in my selling shows. Okay, okay. I started an IG page with all the curated looks from the beauties that I purchased from this app. And I tag all the wonderful stores. Oh, that's a great idea. And that's a great way to build your following when you start, if you decide to start to sell. I think that's a great idea. You've been using copyright free playlists. That's a great idea too. I just haven't. Have you found some that you like? I have not. Mm, well, you'll have to share them with me because I haven't found any that I find particularly entertaining, so I haven't done that. All right, you all, we are at our over our hour mark, but I have enjoyed this. Um, I know. Okay, MRG, I have asked her to share that with me. She promises she will, but she creates those. She creates those. So repurpose resale always has a fire, fire playlist, but she creates them on Apple Music. So she thinks about, she's really into me. She's one of those really creative people. So she finds the songs that she likes and she loves, and she puts her playlist together. But her playlist, I mean, back in the day, you could go to the club and that could be the playlist for the club until they start flashing the lights on and off. Oh, oh, good, 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 good. That's so cool, Dr. Ree. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, you don't use iTunes. Do you use Pandora or Amazon Music? 342 has a buyer of his who created YouTube playlists he uses. Oh yeah, YouTube playlists are actually really good too. But I've used some of those, but they were also copywritten. But I need to look into that. Spotify. Okay. Okay. Spotify works best for you when you are teaching cycling. I need to look more at Spotify. I've not migrated to Spotify. I need to check that out. Oh yeah, YouTube has the ads. You're right. And so does Pandora. At least the version that I have has ads. So, okay, I'll look at that. I will look at that. All right, you guys. What are we talking about next week? Any thoughts? Anything that you want me to look into or what should we discuss next week? Next Wednesday when we're riding and chatting. Y'all, I apologize. I'm just looking how ashy my lips are. No, I haven't discussed sourcing yet. We can talk about sourcing next week. We can talk about sourcing next week. I don't know if I'm the one to talk about it. I'm having some challenges, but we can talk about sourcing. I have gotten a lot better, so I know what I'm looking for, and I know the price point that I need to buy it for in order to bring it to my WhatNot audience. So it becomes a little difficult. I think it is. I think people don't want to give their true sources um, just because they feel like it takes away from their opportunity to buy it at their cost. That's what I'm thinking. Um, Pricing too is a great topic, and the $1 starts. Okay, yeah, we could do that. Okay, so sourcing and pricing. Nobin and Stream Tunes are streamer music services too. Okay, got that one. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, as I always say, mwah, mwah, much love to each of you. Thank you so much for the engaging conversation this morning. We will work on the things thank you. Absolutely. We will work on our topics for next Wednesday. We'll get back on the bike and we will just keep talking about sourcing and pricing. And make sure that you have a metric. Love you too, honey. Make sure that you have a metric that you are following specifically this week. Is it going to be your sell through rate? Is it going to be your average number of viewers? Is it going to be your average order value? What's it going to be? But look at, oh, MRG, thank you so much for the tip, sweet friend. Thank you. I appreciate you. But what are we going to look at for next week? How are we going to measure, review our data, look back at our shows and see what's working well for us or what we need to change? Okay. So that's the challenge for next week. Let's find somebody to read. Let's see. Y'all, I mention her all the time. We're going to go back to Zoe's Treasures because coffee or tea. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It will be coffee for me, definitely. Have a great day, everybody. We're going to go into Zoe's Treasures. I mentioned her earlier. If you're not following her, she is amazing, absolutely amazing, gives great advice, totally data-based, which I love about her. So let's go say hello to her. Y'all, please drop some elephants in the chat when you get there and bookmark and give her a follow. We'll see everybody tonight at Julie's show. I think she said 8:35 p.m. Central Standard Time, Thrifty ATX. We're going to learn more about shipping in there and how she's handling her reduced shipping to still accommodate her buyers, but not at the $775 price. So let's go. You're modding tonight. Okay. Okay. All right. Clothing seller info. Okay. And you're modding Victoria. Okay. I have to bookmark her as well. All right, y'all. Let's go raid. Elephants in the chat. Love you guys.